Hey, little biscuit. How are you, man? Or whoever is watching. I'm curious. I was gonna ask you a question. I'm like, do you read? Just setting up the actual studio. Setting up the studio. This low effort studio. Do you read any books in your spare time? And if you do, let me know. Like, what type of books you read? Just in your spare time. Because I want to talk to you about a certain book right now, and I feel like I've gotten such a nice, like a better idea that the book doesn't talk about. It talks about something completely opposite. Let me show you what I mean. Before I do that, I'm just trying to set up my camera right here. Yeah, my camera. I got a haircut. On my hair. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so do you read books? Books. One thing, by the way, that you should do, every smart person reads books. But like, for example, Andrew Tate talks about how you shouldn't read books and they're a waste of time. I don't think they're a waste of time. I think they're very helpful. And then when you read books, put them on notes like these. Because when you put them on notes, and as soon as you wake up, you just go and you review them. That's so powerful. Because as soon as you wake up, remember how I talk about brain waves? When you wake up, your brain is moving from theta to alpha, and then it gets into beta. So that theta brainwave, if you're able to put information into it by reading, because you get information from your eyes, right, through the five senses. So as soon as you get information, as soon as you wake up, you'll notice that, dang, like the information is going to sink in your mind so nicely, and it's going to become a part of you. And through repetition, you're actually able to absorb lots of, like, I can say one word, right? So for example, if I say a word that, like a sentence, not a word, which is something that your dunya is not your real home. That's a statement, right? The more you read that word through different brainwaves, so like right now you could say, for example, if you have like a scanner, you put it in my brain, maybe I'm in beta mode, beta brainwave, but I think I'm actually in alpha right now because I'm pretty relaxed and I'm just making just a relaxed video for the Raw channel. So my brainwave is in alpha, which means I'm more receptive to things. Like I'm living the world through a relaxed state where I'm not really putting much effort. I'm still doing work, but I'm not doing work. Do you know what I mean? So if I read the statement, which is your dunya is not the real home, in alpha, and then I read it in theta, my receptivity to the information is different. If I read this in beta, I'm not gonna like receive it at all. But if I read it in theta, I'm gonna receive it. This is why I don't believe affirmations work, because affirmations, most people, they do them in beta brainwave. So if you're in beta brainwave right now, and then you just tell yourself, it's like, I am the type of person that makes such and such, you won't really receive that information in your mind. So it's not even really going to change who you are. It's going to keep you pretty much the same. And then you'll go through so many affirmations and you'll ask yourself, like, dang, what the heck? Why am I doing so many affirmations? But at the same time, but yet, like, I'm still not getting any of the benefits. So there's this book right here. Right here. This book right here. It's called, my camera is inverted, but it's called Psycho-cybernetics. Psycho-cybernetics. This is a very nice edition. Yeah, it's a very nice edition. Basically, what this book says is that, like, the main idea of the whole author, he was just saying the self-image. Self-image is the key to a better life. I can do this and show you stuff, but like it's inverted, right? He's saying the self-image is a key to a better life, and then as soon as you change your self-image, you're going to be able to change your life. And so he has a bunch of proof, because I think this guy was a surgeon, whoever this person was, Maxwell Maltz, or he worked, I don't know, I forgot the whole thing. I'm not going to reread the whole book, but there's a surgeon, and this surgeon, anytime he would do surgeries on people where it changes something, it changes their appearance, right? Somehow these people, they start making more money. Somehow they start attracting the love that they want. Somehow they just start getting so many of the things that they've been wanting. But it's like, after the surgery, they were able to do it. And he's like, I don't understand how. Like, what was the whole thing? And then he realizes it's all self-image. Through your self-image, you can change your life, which is actually big proof that your reality is just a mirror to what's inside of you. But I want to tell you right now something about the book. This whole self-image thing, even though it works, there's something way deeper than that. Think of it like there's 3 levels, right? Level 1 is when you're trying to change the outside world. This is when you're doing so much work, you're putting a lot of effort, you're just doing a bunch of things. And this is the thing that I believe Andrew Tate talks a lot about this, by the way. He's like, just go do a bunch of work. If you're not doing work, then you're not doing good. Yeah, it's level 1 though. I feel like it's truly level 1. Level 2 though is changing the inside. Changing the inside. This is when you change your self-image. So you basically use affirmations, you use all these tools that we have in self-improvement just to change what you think about yourself. This is it. Changing what you think about yourself. And this is level 2. Does it work? All of them work, by the way. This one takes a lot of time. Level 1 takes a lot of time. Level 2, less time. But then there's level 3. And level 3 is the one that Islam is touching upon, but for some reason most people are not realizing it. And level 3, I don't know what you would call it, but I would call it your fitra. Fitra, which basically means you are already perfect. There is nothing you should change about yourself. You're already perfect. There's a whole quote from Rumi that says, he was like, your job is not to seek love. Your job is to remove all the barriers that are holding you from receiving love. I just paraphrased it. And this quote is so powerful because what is love? The true love is Allah. Allah is al-Wadud. And so, when you live through the world of dunya, you're putting a lot of barriers within you. Naturally, you do that. As you grow older, this is what you're doing. So when you go to school, they start telling you, you're this type of person, this type of person. And then when you go to university, you're this type of person. Like you believe you have an identity, and then you keep trying to add more onto this identity so you can become a better identity. But then you forget that the entire time there was already something perfect within you. This is why you'll see children, they all automatically have alpha traits. All of them. Just look at how they are. Like, talk to a child, they don't have, like, they're not scared of speaking. They're not, like, they move through the world like the world is their living room. That's what children do. Like young children. It's funny every time I talk about children. But that's what they do. So you should understand, it's like, well, you do understand, like children, they're in touch with their fitra. Fitra in Arabic is just your innate state, the state that you were born in. So that's why we say everybody is born a Muslim, already surrendered to Allah, and then the parents turn you into a different religion. But it's because you've already surrendered to Allah. So you're already connected with your fitrah. And then when you go through the world, you start to get disconnected from the fitrah. So level 3, in order to attain level 3, all you have to do is just remove all the barriers that you've been putting in front of you. And then naturally, when you remove all the barriers, all of the 99 names of Allah, then they'll start flowing through you. Literally, they'll just start flowing through you. And this is not shirk. Don't be thinking, oh, what if this is shirk and blah, blah, blah. Think of it like this, right? Think of it like this. I have a pen just because it makes me look smart. Think of it when there's an ocean, right? An ocean. I'll just give you an analogy. Think of like the ocean is Allah. Just an analogy. Imagine taking, I have the water bottle here, but imagine taking a glass cup. Then you go and you scoop some water from this ocean. So here's the thing. The cup is your body, which is glass. Pretend like this is glass. The cup is the body. The water the water is the spirit. So where does the spirit come from? From Allah. That's why when someone dies, we're always reminded, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So the water is the spirit. The cup is the body. Everybody has cups. So everybody has a body. But this body does not move unless there is a spirit. So many people, they also believe that the spirit is actually in the breath. So without the breath, the body is just like a corpse. But with the breath, the body gets life. That's why in Arabic, like the breath is nafas. And the soul is a nafs, which is so interesting. They're almost like, they're literally the same word. Yet a nafas, he breathed. It's the same word, which is, many mystics actually, they believe that the soul is the breath. So what I'm saying right now is that when you go through the world, what happens is that you start getting stained. You start to get the glass, it becomes stained. So this is why we say like your heart becomes stained, because naturally when you live through dunya, you're going to get stained. And this is why there is dhikr, to clean the stain, to clean the glass. And then when you clean the glass, you can see the water more. Like even light goes through the glass more. Like light is going through this. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to see some of the stuff that's happening behind. So light is going through this. Then when the light goes through this, water, you can just see water and that's it. Which means, like, where did this water come from? From the ocean. Which means the same qualities that are within the ocean, you'll also find them in the water. This is why Allah has put so many, like, these are the ayat of Allah. These are the signs of Allah. And that's so crazy, by the way. Like, I hope you're realizing it. This is actually insane. Which, this should just show you that the whole work is just dhikr. And what is dhikr? Dhikr is just remembrance. Remembrance. And this is why I say, like, it's so important for you to sometimes, not sometimes actually, most of the time, sit down, like, remember Allah. Allah is always here. This is why Allah says, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. And it's because Allah is always here. Allah is never absent. So this book, even though, like, it's a beautiful book, it's a good book, it does help you get results. But I'm saying this book is just talking about level 2. It's just level 2. Why? Because this person is not Muslim. He doesn't know this whole thing. Allah has blessed us with the Quran, and then we know about this whole thing, which is very powerful, by the way. Like, I hope you just realize, like, this whole thing is so powerful. So then the more dhikr you do, and in the Quran, Allah touched upon dhikr so many times, man. The more dhikr you do, the more that you clean yourself, and then the more you clean yourself, the more that you start embodying the same qualities as the ocean. And this is it's very powerful. So I'm hoping this was helpful. If it was, man, this is on a new channel, so just let me know if it was.